Have you ever paused to ponder on the layers of meaning hidden within the scripture passages we read? It's a fascinating topic that continues to stir debate and curiosity, especially when we delve into the contrast between modern and medieval methods of interpretation. Modern interpretation often presents us with a dichotomy. A passage should be interpreted either literally or symbolically. However, this either-or approach would have been baffling to medieval scholars. They believed that a passage could possess up to 4 right interpretations, 1 literal and 3 symbolic. Let's unpack this a little. The 4 interpretations were the historical or literal, which forms the bedrock on which the other interpretations depend. The prophetic sense, where an Old Testament event foreshadows its New Testament fulfillment. The moral or spiritual sense, where events and characters mirror elements in our own lives. And finally, the eschatological sense, where earthly scenes foreshadow glimpses of heavenly glory. This layered approach doesn't detract from the historical, literal sense, but rather builds on and expands it. It's founded on the theologically sound premise that God authored 3 books, not just one: nature, history, and scripture. The narrative of history is composed not only of events, but also of words, signs, and symbols. This concept may seem alien to us only because we've traded a sense of depth for a flat, one-dimensional, bottom-line mentality where everything signifies only one thing. In the spirit of recapturing this lost worldview, consider applying the spiritual sense of the Christmas story to our lives. For that story happens not only once in history, but also many times in each individual's soul. Christ comes to the world, but he also comes to each of us. Advent happens over and over again. There are 2 methods to bridge the historical and the spiritual senses. The Jesuit method, from St. Ignatius' Spiritual Exercises, encourages us to imaginatively place ourselves into the gospel stories. The older Augustinian method prompts us to look for elements of the story in our lives. As we journey through the scene in Bethlehem over the next 4 weeks, we'll be using this latter method. Think about your nativity set. Around the Christ child, you see 4 people or groups: Mary, Joseph, the wise men, and the shepherds. We are all around the Christ child, defined by our relationship to him. We are all Marys, Josephs, wise men, or shepherds. Or, in conclusion, whether you lean towards modern or medieval interpretations of Scripture, it's clear that there are layers of meaning to be discovered. And perhaps, in the spirit of Christmas, we can all find a bit of Mary, Joseph, the wise men, or the shepherds within us.